And welcome into another edition of The Meltdown. The much-anticipated Joker 2 trailer is reportedly dropping tonight. Meanwhile, the Amazon Fallout series is dropping a few days early. Morgan Wallen is dropping chairs off of rooftops. WWE is dropping elbows. As today's Lunce's list profiles the 5 wrestler entrances that have stood the test of time. It's all dropping right here on The Meltdown, live on Facebook, Twitch, X, and YouTube. We appreciate you being here on The Meltdown, presented by MyBookie, broadcasting live from the Culver studio.
2 big boys in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know that makes sound a meltdown. It's the meltdown, time for the meltdown, coming for the meltdown. Let's start the show.
Welcome into Meltdonia, all of you loyal Meltdonians that are here for the Tuesday edition of the show. We surely do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button while you're here and subscribe if you have not, because we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We are trying to hit that sometime in the summer season and would love to have all of the support possible from our lovely viewers. I am Tim Melton here with you daily, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. That is my co-host, the other half of the Meltdown, Mr. John Lunsford, the king of the lists, but not the king of the poker table last night, as it had highs and it had lows.
It's usually a setup to say that you did good, but
No,
I was the best finisher of anybody in this room. So
Yeah.
I'm
just
not
throwing that out there.
insulting you. I'm trying to have group therapy after what was another poker night at the PTPC where I didn't finish in the money. You didn't finish in the money.
I did finish in the money. Thank you very much.
You did last night?
I did.
Gosh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't win, but I at least finished in the money.
You're right. I am trying to
Give
drag
me a
you
little
down
credit.
with the
I
rest
mean,
of
come
us.
on.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't remember that. We also have EG here, who is a member of the Primetime Poker Club. EG, how do you feel like your poker game has evolved? Because this was your very first season at the poker club.
It was. I feel like from night 1, which was the Halloween game, until now, I have evolved. I feel like I know what's going on now. My first night, I did make it to the final table that first week, but now I feel like I have crafted my strategy.
Yes, and you look to implore that strategy in future seasons for sure.
Of course.
Producer Tyler is here as well. Tyler, love having you as a part of the show. What's going on in your life? You got a chance last night to see a sneak peek at an upcoming feature film.
Yes, last night I got a sneak preview. I got an early viewing at the unreleased film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Say that 10 times fast. That's a
Seriously.
tough title.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly... I'm not going to continue.
You couldn't.
It's a Guy Ritchie film starring Henry Cavill and Alan Richardson. It is very funny. It is worth your time, and there's an out-of-the-theater reaction posted on the channel.
I want you, Tyler, at some point, you and Rockstar to collaborate. And instead of singing Cruella de Vil, I want you to sing Henry Cavill and do a whole song about it. Because for the longest time, we're pulling back the curtain here.
We are.
You've called him Henry Cavill, and I know you're not alone, but I'm glad that you're now on the side of what's right with Henry Cavill. Happy to have you here.
I still think the name sounds better as Cavill.
Well, why don't you talk to
I think the name should
his
sound
publicist about it.
however it
Can I
actually
guys?
is.
Can I ask you guys a question
Please.
about how you say a word?
Okay, well,
Yosemite.
No, shut up.
Biopic.
it depends. Are we talking about movies or are we talking about not movies? 'Cause that
Just
could
how
be-
do you say this
It could
word?
be biopic.
I've
or you
always
could
said
go
biopic.
Biopic.
I've always said biopic.
I think
biopic.
it's biopic.
Okay, well then we're all in agreement. There's no discussion to be had.
Oh, I thought you guys said biopic.
You said biopic.
I've said it's biopic if you're talking about movies. It's biopic if you're talking about some type of science or something.
Is
Oh,
that used for that?
I think it's just
Is
for
it?
music,
Don't you?
movies.
I'm still having flashbacks to 10th grade biology class.
But
Is that not some sort of like
biopic
surgery
is a
on
movie.
a frog or something?
Biopic is a movie about a
I'm
person.
thinking of biopsy.
yes. I mean,
I call it a biopic.
okay.
Biology.
Okay, good. Because
Bionic.
Biopic. So we say
Biopic.
biopic, they say biopic.
but like biography, you don't say biography.
No, you do not ever say
So
that.
exactly. So why would you
Biography,
say?
biopic? Yeah.
biopic.
I say biopic. I don't know. It's like a biography picture. I just take it into
All
one
right.
word.
I just want to clear that up.
Can you please never ask questions on the show again?
Agreed.
Thank you.
We agreed, so you can ask all you want.
Yeah.
Because Tim and I always disagree.
John, the bracket challenge has officially come to an end up here at the office, and you put in way more time into your bracket than I put into mine, and you finished 2 spots ahead. How does that make you feel being a loser?
Feel like I beat you, number one. Just like I did at
hit
poker
random
last night.
I hit random, threw it in there.
You say you hit random, but you had UAB going pretty far for a UAB fan to have just hit random.
I hit random.
But no, I literally put together a bracket the minute the bracket came out and then said, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone. And then literally the day before I said, I'm going to change everything. And I went through and counted, and I would have finished like third, not in our only hours, but the overall bracket challenge if I had just left it alone. But I tried to think too much. It always happens that way. You always overthink things. I had UConn winning it all. And I thought, no, I think everybody's right. Auburn could do something, and then they lose in the first round. I did have Alabama beating North Carolina, but that's pretty much the only thing I picked right.
With the whole scope of the office, who came out on top?
That would be Reed. He picked UConn to win it all. Him and Scott Forrester were the only two to pick UConn to win it all. Rocky actually finished second. Scott was third because Rocky did so good before that, but he had
Good job,
Houston.
Rocky.
And other I think Taylor is the only other one that had a finalist correct. She picked Purdue to win it all.
Okay. And between the 3 next round show hosts, that's what people really care about. Comes to the punishments that are being dealt out. How did that end up finishing?
Lance won because he had UConn going the furthest. Jim had Auburn going all the way. That clearly did not work, so he finished last, and Brown was second. So Brown will have the lesser punishment, and Jim, I still think, got off pretty easy with his punishment, if I'm being honest.
I think Jim got what he wanted.
If Jim had just been
Yes.
a
He
homer,
landmined Auburn.
Yeah.
if he'd just been a homer and stuck with the Tide, then he would have crushed it, right? Probably.
I
It
mean,
would have been closer.
If he'd have been a homer and just not picked Auburn, not necessarily sticking with Alabama, then he would have crushed it.
Okay. Let's look at this little subject, my friend, Mr. Lunsford, and that is the Curb Your Enthusiasm finale.
Watched it
Show
last night.
ended on Sunday after 12 seasons. There was so much to watch this weekend, including the Final Four, including WrestleMania, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The final episode had Larry David on trial, in which witness after witness testified to his lifetime of selfish and antisocial behavior. Did it land for you? Did it deliver as one of the best finales in recent memory? Or did you find it to be underwhelming?
It landed for me because they made just a small little, it was building up the entire time to end like Seinfeld did, where they all end up in jail. He does this really, small act that technically is against the law, but everybody thinks is stupid. And so the whole trial, what kills me is during the entire trial, and I won't spoil what actually happens at the end, but during the entire trial, his lawyer's like, is he guilty? Yeah, he's guilty. But look, the law's stupid to begin with. And it's like, look, murder's stupid to begin with. I mean, yeah, he did it, but come on, let's argue the law. It's like that. You can't really argue that in court. It was not a very compelling court case. I know it's a comedy and not supposed to be super duper lifelike, but I thought the way they handled the finale as it was leading to the Seinfeld finale actually was pretty good. A lot of cameos in the final episode, but to not spoil it, I would just say go watch it. The last few seasons have been incredible. I kind of was a casual watcher of the first 5 or 6 seasons, but I kind of went through and watched it once Laurel and I started dating because she's a huge Seinfeld person, so we started watching it, and I've watched it religiously since then, and it's been a really, really good show. I'm sad they ended it. I feel like he could have kept going. Seems like he just thought, I'm done. It's like perfect Larry David was like, I just don't feel like it anymore. Let's just stop. There wasn't any reason to stop other than I just figured I'd just have an extra vacation.
He didn't want to be around people any longer than he had to.
Probably.
That's probably it. All right, good recap there. Tyler, you've got some news when it comes to theatrical distribution of films that we all know and love. What do you have for us?
So later this month, AMC through Fathom Events will be re-releasing the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That will be April 26th, 27th, and 28th. And then also
Not
later...
the same day?
What's that?
Not the same day?
Oh, no, it's one day after another. So
we should win an award
you don't
if
have
you
to
can do them all the
marathon
same
them.
day. Yeah.
And in other theatrical release news, Dune 2 is getting an extended IMAX release in the top 20 markets in the country.
Okay. And Joker 2 is set to release still in October. Tonight we are getting a full trailer. What we got today was not a teaser trailer, as it's being labeled by some. What we got today was a trailer teaser, which is a 30-second scene.
That's what it was.
I think we totally missed that impression. Would you like to do it one more time?
He just laughed. He's just like crying, laughing, and that's it. For about 20 seconds, and then it's like, the trailer drops tonight. It's like, ugh.
I think in the background of that, I keep wanting to call it a teaser trailer, but it is a trailer teaser because all it does is tell you that the trailer's dropping tonight. What the world needs now is Love, Sweet Love. That is the song that's playing in the background. Couldn't it be a better song for that pick of that short scene? I wonder if it's going to play throughout the course of the entire trailer. I love that song, and I love that may be incorporated into the Joker 2 soundtrack, which, once again, this movie is going to be a musical. We will see just how many songs are sampled tonight when the trailer drops. I hate that we won't be here in the studio when the trailer drops so we can do a live reaction, but I promise you this, we will have some type of reaction tomorrow to share on the Meltdown live show, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, but it's being shown first to those within the theatrical distribution industry and the theater chains. At CinemaCon, it's being debuted there by Warner Brothers. Probably a smart move to earn some favor with them. And right now you have all the studios lining up at Caesar's Palace in this huge auditorium to show off the latest from their studios of what's releasing this summer, what's releasing in the fall, giving them exclusive sneak peeks to footage, trailers, full movies are being screened, stars are going to show up to wow and dazzle. And this is really a time for these studios to make a pitch of these are the important pop culture landmarks that you can be a part of this year with all of your infrastructure cinema owners. So buy into us. And I love CinemaCon, the idea of it. It's closed off to the public, but I love the news that comes out of CinemaCon. And we will have more of that to digest throughout the week, more likely than not.
Hey, once we start our movie theater, the Meltdown movie theater, we'll be able to go to CinemaCon next year. And we'll be there.
That works. We will start that up. I think it's a good time to get into the movie theater industry.
Will you employ or deploy your pod system in the movie theater?
Yes, we will. It will be limited but luxury seating, pod system, fully intact, headphone jack in the pods with it. Incredible food, incredible screens. The theater will be curved, so everybody will have a good view of the screen. And then we'll go to CinemaCon.
Will you rent out headphones for those that maybe don't have their own?
We'll pull the whole airplane thing and give you headphones.
The first movie series that maybe should be shown is the Harry Potter series, because not only is that the number one thing on Lunce's list of pop culture things that you're into,
Yep.
but E.G., you're a huge Harry Potter fanatic.
I love Harry Potter.
You're a Harry head.
You could say that.
Is that what the fan base is called? Potterheads? Is that really what they're called?
Yeah.
I think so.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just took a shot there. I should have used the other side of the name there.
So what are the logistics of opening a theater?
Oh gosh.
Like, how do you get a building registered as a theater? Like, could we get this office registered as a theater if we had a projector?
No more room in this tiny office.
Technically, you could, because that's what Sidewalk did. It is in a building under Pizzitz, but it's actually like condos above it, but it's no really different than an office building is. So, I mean, it's an underground theater, so we just need to build underground here at the Blue Lake Center. We'll open up Meltdown Cinemas with 2 screens, and one screen will show the latest thing that's playing. One screen will show more independent movies, and we'll do some good holiday stuff. They don't do good holiday movies anymore. I mean,
holiday.
Sidewalk doesn't really do good holiday movies. Alabama Theaters dropped off a lot of the holiday screenings that they do, so we'll pick the slack up.
Maybe you should show 1997's The Game, which is our first ever retro trailer reaction. It's up on the channel. You guys are supporting it.
Just imagine if we missed, Science Theater, that thing, like in our theater. Hey, we're going to do this. We drew that random one out. You can come watch it with us. I mean, come on.
Could be a lot of fun. Make sure you check out that retro trailer reaction. It's up on the channel. And we appreciate all the support behind that series. We're going to try to do a lot more movies over the coming weeks, so stay tuned there. E.G., you're not only a Harry Potter fan, you're also a Morgan Wallen fan.
I am a Morgan Wallen fan.
How concerned are you about the 30-year-old country megastar that is now facing 3 counts of reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, a Class E felony in Tennessee? I guess it's funny. I mean, why is that funny, E.G.? I mean,
we've been talking about this, and it is a drop in the bucket of Morgan Wallen's antics,
Yeah.
and I think that this will be
Drop in the bucket. Get it? Sorry.
this
Drop-
will
drop
be
the chair.
that's nice, blown over, and we won't hear about this. But I do think that this is trending in a not great direction for.
Oh, what makes you think that? Could it be
Morgan
the
Wallen.
fact he's been charged with a felony?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. The deadly weapon, throwing a chair. We discussed the nature of these chairs. It wasn't like a Tommy Bahama coming down. It was a bar chair. That could have done some damage. I think that he needs to learn from this. So, Morgan, if you're watching,
Be honest. You want more Morgan Wallen music, and you hope he
Yes,
doesn't
I
ruin
want
it
his
for
new
you.
album.
You're being as selfish as every other fan out there that's sticking up for this kid. And what they're doing right now is they're trying to protect their upcoming musical tastes from being uninterrupted. Be honest. You're not on a witness stand, but tell the truth. Am I right?
I plead the fifth.
I am right. I just drew blood. I didn't mean to, EG.
I want
but
the
I tell it like
music.
it is.
I want the music. I don't really think that was the smartest decision that you ever could have made. There's a lot of
You're
decisions.
sugarcoating this a lot.
Better decisions
yes.
than throwing chairs off a rooftop
I would like to
bar.
know what the conversation was leading up to it. Like, was it, hey, do you think I should throw this chair off?
No,
was
it was pass me another drink. That was the last thing that was probably said before the chair got drawn.
Yeah.
Morgan, I
thrown
think
off.
your music's stupid. Oh yeah.
exactly like what did the chair do?
I don't think the chair did anything personally to him. I just think that he was trying to.
Well, let me flip this on you.
Oh, please do.
Your
Why are you not throwing chairs?
idol in country music, Eric Church, the mentor of Mr. Morgan Wallen at his bar. Do you not think that the chair should be nailed down
There's two
to
things.
prevent this
Country
from
music.
happening?
I love this. Keep going. Keep going.
Two things real quick. Number one, you didn't know anything about that storyline until I told you. So you're using my own information against me, which is exactly how you handle your poker nights, and I don't appreciate it one bit. Secondly, at least my guy is trying to help. Your guy can't even help himself.
I mean, I don't know if he's my guy. Like, you claim Eric Church. I also would claim Luke Combs
Okay, maybe go with
or
him.
Luke Bryan.
Maybe go with him. Maybe
Georgia
pick-
Southern alum.
Luke
pick,
Skywalker.
pick any of the Lukes here and make that be the chosen one.
So do you not think that Eric Church should take measures to keep his chair secure
You're
in his
right.
bar?
I like the
right,
idea
it's
of the
his
chairs
fault.
being nailed down. You can't move them. You can't scoot them
I'm
anywhere.
not sure about
They're
that
just
one.
there.
Have y'all seen, okay, this is a major segue. Have y'all seen that episode of Scooby-Doo where they,
Why are you on the show again?
oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding.
Where the
I'm
monster uses the
kidding.
chair as his weapon.
No, the monster does not use the chair as the weapon. Everything in the house is nailed down because the house rotates. Someone in the chat has had to have seen this. And there's like a lever, and then when they pull the lever, everything in the house like goes upside down. It's like in the 60s or 70s cartoon.
I just love that you're trying to make excuses for this guy of if Eric Church has just gotten up there with the proper hammer and nail and made sure that all
I'm
of the
just,
patio
it's food
furniture
for
was...
thought. It's food for thought. That's all I'm saying. And Morgan Wallen supports Alpha Delta Pi, my sorority. He drops us in a lot of songs, so that's a win. But I do think that Mr. Morgan needs to get his life figured out because you can't really be doing this.
That's good. Maybe
anymore.
quit making excuses for him. That's part of the problem. I think he has a fan base that's making excuses
Well,
for him.
what did we say about his fan base? That was an interesting conversation earlier.
What part of it
What do you
stood
have to
out
say
to
for
you?
yourself then? You're
No,
part of
no,
the
no,
fan
no.
base.
Hold on one second. As EG continues to lie through her teeth, I want to tell you about being able to clean yours. The dental team that I trust is Alabama
was a good
Dental
one.
Associates. I'm so happy to have found a dental team that takes care of all of my dental health care needs. Located on Grants Mill Road, Alabama Dental Associates, led by Dr. Jeff, right there on the left, Dr. Brian on the right. They make sure, first and foremost, that their patients are always comfortable with the dental care they are receiving. They have all the latest dental health technology, so you know you're getting the very latest advancements in dental health care. But it's the friendliness that really makes the experience one that you want to keep coming back to. Very few people are excited to go to the dentist. They typically are worried about finding something wrong, that maybe they're going to have to get taken care of. They worry about the cost. They worry about the pain. The team at Alabama Dental Associates, they understand these fears that you may have, and they'll work with you through all of that. They're very understanding, and they're very comforting. They're at their practice, located on Grants Mill Road, 205-956-8977. That's 956-8977, or visit alabamadental.com. They look forward to seeing you. People there on Broadway, lucky they didn't have their teeth knocked out by a
So
flying
true.
chair that you say was an occupational hazard from Eric Church, and I say was clearly lunged
By the
off
way,
of the rooftop by Morgan Wallen.
Before we move on, I just looked that episode up of Scooby-Doo where the house flips over, and guess what? Batman is in that episode of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's the Scooby-Doo Batman.
Batman and Robin
Yes.
are in it, and they flip it over, and Robin's like, why is the stuff nailed down to the floor? So world's coming together here.
That's my favorite series of Scooby-Doo.
I think we have somebody at the window right now.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my God. Who is?
Who is-
There we go. He's excited. I can tell he's ready to come in here. Oh my gosh. I've never been more excited to sub out somebody out of the guest chair in my life than right now. Welcome, my man. Hey, fist bump right here first before we start.
Two sweets.
Well, okay.
I love
I don't
it.
know what I'm doing.
I love it. Nobody gets it, Brian. We get it. Wolfpack for life.
Pack. Throwing bar stools everywhere. What's up, everybody?
Hey, look, now EG
She's out of control
She's throwing
today.
things.
She's throwing things
Out
in
of
here.
control.
Just like Morgan Wallen.
That was the whole point of the joke. But yes, thank you for bringing it home.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Brian.
Thank you, guys.
We're thrilled
Good
to
to
have
be-
you back. You may know Brian from the Pavlik six-pack, which debuted last week. I can go ahead and reassure fans right now that we have a return of the Pavlik six-pack that will be dropping on this channel, The Meltdown 24/7.
Yeah.
You're going to want to make sure you watch it, especially if you're a wrestling fan. We go deep into the weeds on all things WrestleMania weekend, and we geek out over the future of wrestling, which right now feels hotter than ever, at least since the Attitude Era.
Fun time.
I mean, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. EG in person, Tyler, he's kind of hibernated in the world of wrestling. What's your pitch to the generation that maybe went, oh, I'm not sure if wrestling's such a cool thing? Because right now, it's on fire, my friend.
I compare it to Broadway. You have characters telling a story on stage with production, lights, choreography, acting, script, costumes. If you like Broadway, this may be that audience. And if you like sports, which this is what it is a fun mix of all that. There is no other place where you can have celebrities from different genres interact, feel just as home. Jason Kelsey gets in a ring. That's Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother.
I think that's right. Yes. If I'm following the.
I forget. You had. Who was the dude in the Prime thing? You
I
guys,
Show
the
Speed.
I Show Speed was there.
Brian's so excited about I Show Speed.
Yes, I Show Speed.
Can you
Tim.
believe it?
I couldn't believe. I had to Google it. It was fun. And you know what though? Multi-generational. I'm representing Bruno Sammartino today. My kids, they knew who I Show Speed was. We all knew who John Cena was and The Undertaker. Just fun stuff. Saturday, not so much. Sunday, definitely.
Variety confirms that WrestleMania 40, which took place over 2 nights at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia this past weekend, broke multiple WWE records and has become the most successful live event in the company's history. I'll throw out some numbers here. Per WWE, the gate for the event was up 78% compared to the previous record set during WrestleMania 39. With 145,298 in attendance across both nights this year. The company also said viewership was up 41% versus last year, while merchandise sales in partnership with Fanatics was up more than 20% over last year. There's big business booming here, John, and for those that maybe don't respect the product, they've got to at least respect the results that the product is delivering on right now for the company and its shareholders.
Well, and it's doing a good job now of bringing in old and new. So anybody who's been a just casual observer of pop culture in general, well, you know The Rock. Well, hey, guess what? The Rock's involved in the biggest storyline from it. You may not know everything about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, but you may know the name Dusty Rhodes, and then you kind of bring you into it. There's a battle. I think, we were growing up, the battle between WCW and WWF was raging on, and it seems like it's not really much of a battle between AEW and WWE, but it was there for a hot minute. So on TBS, you see, during the Final Four, because TBS has and Turner has the contract to that, you see plenty of AEW advertising there. So wrestling in general is still very much top of mind, even to the average person that doesn't necessarily pay attention to it. And then when you have an event like WrestleMania 40 on top of that, of course, Peacock is opening it up to a new audience too, because you may just subscribe to that to watch The Office. But guess what? The first 3 things in their rotator are WrestleMania, WrestleMania Sunday, WrestleMania Saturday, watch the Hall of Fame, whatever it may be, all right there. So it's a good time to be a wrestling fan, even if you're just a casual like me. There's something to find from it. And you said it's like Broadway. I always considered it when I was growing up. My mom would watch soap operas and stuff during the day. This is my soap opera that I can watch.
As the world turns, my friend.
Yeah.
On social media alone, over 660 million views were generated across WWE's social channels, while the YouTube channel had its biggest day ever on Sunday with 67 million views in 24 hours. This is a global product, and it seems like it's only growing, Brian. We're very excited about it, and it does help when you have one of the biggest, if not the biggest star in the world, in The Rock, coming back home and reaching levels that we've never seen him reach before in terms of his just viciousness as a character.
Rock, the popular star of the Tooth Fairy and Jumanji and Jungle
Fast and
Cruise
Furious.
and
Gridiron Gang.
Scorpion King, all these classics that you guys
Walking
have talked
Tall.
about. Walking Tall.
The Mummy Returns, did we already say that one?
Future Lunce's
Mummy
list.
Returns,
It was a
yeah.
Scorpion
He said
King.
Scorpion King. So yeah,
Gosh, I messed that up.
The game plan.
he was in
EG
Mummy
wants
game,
you to
the
know.
game plan, my God. I mean, this is a list celebrity. No, he does. And again, we talked about it's not just a Rock as a wrestling persona or as a man who's grown up in the industry. He's a businessman, evident by the different ventures that he's into, whether it's movies, whether it's the UFL, and his involvement there. He brings eyeballs. There is no doubt about that. We may sit there and go, we're done with you and enough. But the WWE is like, no, that's not enough. Come back and all that. And then when you add in, a return like a John Cena, who also has his own stuff going on in movies, and it's fun. It's a good time. I'm glad that these megastars still don't look at wrestling as a crutch to where they are now, or even a carnival setting. They take pride in what professional wrestling did. And I think that's the biggest important piece of this is they don't look at wrestling as, ooh, that was my past. I did it as a means to an end. They take pride in that.
EG, let's get the microphone with EG. Oh my gosh,
there we
more
go.
things
Now I'm
being
committing
dropped.
classy felonies.
More things dropped,
Can't believe it.
by the way. We're a professional production here for sure. EG, you didn't watch any of WrestleMania.
I did not.
But I promise
Shame.
that your boy Morgan Wallen, he loved all the usage of chairs throughout the event.
sure.
It was a very popular thing. He used them as weapons, and there's no doubt that he had a good time with that. Yeah. Why has wrestling never been a thing you've gotten into? Have you ever sampled it?
I have sampled it. So back in the day, my dad's office was in the basement. He worked from home. And my brothers would watch the WWE. So like John Cena era, this was probably 2009 to probably like 2008, 2010. It was on Friday nights. Was that a thing? SmackDown?
Go with
Was
it.
it
Go with
Friday
it.
nights then? I don't know.
Friday Night SmackDown?
You've hung in there far enough. Go
Okay.
ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
And so while they were watching on like the big screen that was like this massive box, like the 2000s pinnacle, I would play Webkins in my dad's office.
Here we go.
And watch Princess Diaries.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your contribution.
You're so welcome.
That helps a lot.
That
She's going to be a great expert on this next topic because maybe, who knows, while she was playing Webkins.
do y'all know what Webkins is?
Yes.
What is
yes.
Webkins?
Yeah, go ahead, EG. This is your
Tyler's
time.
going to explain what
Tyler's
EG
time.
was playing. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
What is Webkins?
All right, so Webkins is where you buy these
fast you
little
pulled that up.
stuffed animals that have a code on them, and you register the code on the website. And the website, it's like an MMO type thing with a bunch of mini games. Oh, yep.
Yeah,
there we
you
go.
got to.
So
That's Webkins. So during our show, you're playing Webkins?
she just had it
She
ready.
had it very ready to go. Mm-hmm. Just like Club Penguin or something like that, like back in the day.
It was like Club Penguin. And so my Webkins username and password, I'm not going to reveal it. Well, my username is EG Bentley. That's another story. But like my username
Bentley.
and password is like what I use for everything. Is always like my Webkins password.
It's also what you logged into Candy Crush.
I never played Candy Crush. I mean, I dabbled, but it wasn't like Webkins. All
I've
that to
lost
say,
control of this show.
I know. I apologize.
It's fine.
Tuesday. That eclipse really did it for us.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I start playing Webkins.
It's awesome.
I had a Tamagotchi back in the day. Does
Yeah,
that count?
my brother had a Tamagotchi.
There's no way to properly transition to this.
Did y'all like Neopets?
Good luck.
I was almost out of it. I don't know what that is, but we'll get into this eventually soon.
I know what Neopets is.
No, we won't.
Are you looking for one of your infamous transitions?
I'm not. I'm literally just trying to get out of this
I was
segment
going
and
to
get
help
to
you
another
with
one.
one if you wanted. I had a great one. But
No, you're good. Over the course of wrestling history, there have been some epic moments. Most all of them began with an entrance to the ring. Which of these big stage entry routines have stood the test of time? Let's get ready to discuss John's
hold on.
personal picks
Get in there quick. Hold on. Okay.
on another brand new edition of Lunce's List.
What is this? What is this? Nonsense list, nonsense list, oh. What is this? What is this? Nonsense list, nonsense list, oh. Nonsense list to find. Nonsense list to find. Nonsense list to find. Nonsense list to find.
All right, John, the task is to name the 5 wrestler entrances other than Kane's, who we know you're a big fan of. We will
Yep.
continue to reemphasize that. You are a massive
And it's number
Kane
1.
fan. That's right. Other than Kane, and including all of wrestling history, I want you to name the 5 wrestler entrances that you personally enjoy the most. The 5 wrestler entrances you personally enjoy more than the rest. Brian is getting out the Lunce's List home game, which pretty soon we should start selling versions of. How did you approach this list?
I came up with 9 off the top of my head. So I feel like if I usually come up with it off the top of my head, it probably should be there. I forget some all the time, and I'm sure you'll be like, I can't believe you didn't do blah, blah, blah. And I'll probably like, I forgot that one. But I took those 9, and then I broke them into 4 categories, and I graded them. This is probably the first time I've ever graded out to choose the 4. I based it on the theme, so the music that is there, which, you know, would be a different list if it was just themes.
That's fair.
But is definitely included in the entrance. The initial audio hit of the camera's not on the entrance, but when you hear whatever it is, and it's, by God, that's Blank's music,
recognizable. Yep.
it's recognizable. So that's a big part of it too. So it's almost as important as just the theme itself. What they do on the way out, so what the physical person does on the way out. So Kane, you know, walking menacingly, and then when he gets to the ring and does the flames and stuff, that's part of what makes it number 1 for me, on top of the music being good. And the organ hitting and everything, that's his initial hit and all that. So there's everything really works with Kane. And then a little pyro in there. You know, some people don't really have pyro involved in it. Some people, like Kane, shoot the world's biggest flames for his pyro. So with all that being said, I kind of did a grading system, and these are the 5 highest grades of the 9 that I came up with, and the other 4 are honorable mentions.
While John goes to write on the board, Brian, what was your absolute favorite moment of WrestleMania this year?
What was his name again? Tyler, the YouTube guy.
I Show Speed.
I Show Speed.
He's committed to the
Tim. No.
No, that's fine.
he's
Leave
a
it
Twitch
there.
streamer.
That gives us enough time to get to number 5 on Lunce's list, so that's perfect. I want John to show number 5. Number
Chris
5 is
Jericho.
Ah, man.
Chris Jericho. Time to break the walls down.
I've already lost.
Now, I remember.
Good initial hit with that.
You remember his
Absolutely.
initial entrance in WWE? You remember how epic that was with the countdown
Countdown.
clock and everything?
And going back to that, WCW, which was infamous for ripping off main staple songs at the time, he had a version of Even Flow by Pearl Jam, which is hilarious. And then there was this kind of synthesizer heavy one that was always on NFL Countdown. And it was like, ooh, that's a say. I've heard Chris Berman talk over that. And so even predating the infamous Break the Walls Down, he had some pretty fun ones as well. But this one, John, great start, man.
So good initial hit.
Yes.
I like the lights go off of the jacket, you know, the sparkling light jacket. So I probably should just pull my grades up here.
Your grade? Can you show the grade?
That's too complicated to show the whole grade. But so I had this as the, you know, I probably didn't have this number 1 in any category, but I had it pretty high in a lot of categories. I like overall the theme of it.
Yeah.
I like to break the wall down. I like his jacket. And Y2J shirt, the Y2J shirt is the only shirt I've ever bought at a live event ever. I think I brought this up at some point before, but I've been to a bunch of live events, but it's the only time I actually pulled the trigger on buying merch was the first SmackDown. I guess it was the first SmackDown ever in Birmingham. My dad took me to, and I bought a Y2J shirt because I thought that playing off the whole Y2K thing at the time was obviously very,
it's cool.
Apropos. So I like that with Chris Jericho.
Okay. Chris Jericho, a strong start to the list there at number 5. And I even like a lot of his AEW run with his entrances as well, using Fozzy there.
Fozzy's a great.
It works
Judas, yep, good one.
Let's go with
watched a lot of that.
number 4 on Lunce's list of best wrestler entrances. What was, other than the 2 main events, what was the match that stood out for you the most at WrestleMania 40?
We haven't talked about another guy finishing a great story, but that was Sami Zayn and Gunther. I mean, you talk about Rocky underdog in Philadelphia. That was pretty fun.
That was Josh Sisk's favorite match.
Yeah.
And it delivered the brainbuster on the turnbuckle that was delivered to Gunther.
I always remember these guys are doing this to each other and then hugging and laughing backstage and saying that was awesome, but that was not awesome.
That was terrifying. All right, number 4, Triple H.
Current Triple H music. The water bottle spit is part of this, so what he does,
Beautiful.
physically does. Gotta get a poncho to sit in the front row when he does it off the side, but
It's like being at a Gallagher concert.
it is. I like this song, and I think this has continued to be a perfect song for him to use as corporate.
Yes.
Triple H, the power. I feel like it's one of the songs that probably brings the most power to it of like, I'm in control here. His gimmicks he could do at WrestleMania with it. Very, very good. So Triple H it's a powerful entrance, probably more so than anybody else to me. And he is the guy in charge. The other guy in charge was one of the 9 that I brought up. So it may or may not appear, but, I don't know. I just, the music, the hit, the minute it hit, the initial audio hit, you know exactly who it is. And it's a powerful hit. And then getting there and spitting water on everybody. You want more power? I'm just going to spit water on you.
Amazing. And it was Motorhead, too.
I don't guess he does that anymore, but
Yeah.
No. But
I mean, just imagine if he did in that suit and still spitting water on everybody.
I love his King of Kings theme. It's
Not bad.
probably
It's a good
my
one.
favorite. But he is known for so many different iconic entrances with DX, with Evolution.
It's hard to just put Triple H. That's why I had to be like, I like his
For
current
sure.
music very much.
But I also like that this promotes our first ever retro trailer reaction, The Game, 1997, starring Michael Douglas.
You're welcome.
Make sure you check out that video. There it is right there. Okay, let's go to number 3 on Lunce's list, 5 best entrances, and we will take your entrances that you really like in the live chat, as well as we have Brock saying Hulk Hogan with the Hulkamania entrance,
Can't beat it.
and The Undertaker. You have Jody throwing out the fabulous Freebirds.
Ooh, Bad Street.
Number 3, Bray Wyatt.
The lights, everybody holding up their lights, the lantern in the darkness. The difference between this and Undertaker is Undertaker in general is just boom, straight up darkness. This is the minute it hits, we're going to bring the light instead. Like the people, the universe is going to bring the light. Bray Wyatt's going to bring the light. That I like this overall. It's probably one that popped in my mind because of current circumstances when I put it on my 9, but then I really went through and thought about it. I like the gimmick. I liked his Fiend gimmick as well. I like the I don't know if the Firefly Funhouse theme would count, any kind of that kind of stuff would count as any kind of entrance or not, but I kind of like that gimmick as well. I loved his match with Cena. I guess it was the COVID year when Cena kind of disappeared at that point to go be a movie star.
Fantastic.
And I had to throw Bray Wyatt and local guy, obviously, playing at Troy and everything.
Yeah,
so
that song
I had to include Bray
I've
Wyatt.
always described just the mellowness, but the aggressiveness as it hauntingly beautiful. It is just clean but scary as you know what. Too.
And from I honestly don't know if I ever saw this in person, because in latter years when he was biggest, we got a couple of times at the radio station we get tickets, but outside of that I didn't really go a lot. But from the initial hit, you could tell because the TV would cut off and show those quick little clips, like black and white clips and stuff, that it's like, okay, this is Bray Wyatt's turn. I don't know how that went in person, because like at WrestleMania when the lights turned off and it's Taker, you hear the bell, the gong hit or whatever, and then the lights turn off. You know exactly what it is. I assume it played out well on the screen that they showed that or whatever. I'm not really sure how that played out in person, though.
I haven't watched the Peacock documentary yet
Haven't either.
on Bray Wyatt, but I've heard wonderful things. I do wish we had gotten some sort of bigger run at some point with Bray Wyatt. It always felt like he was underutilized, always felt like he was on the precipice of really breaking through and being that top guy. And there was that moment that happened in the ring where The Undertaker pulled him to the side and said, basically,
You always wonder what happened.
you're up next. And it was a really emotional moment. It was a passing of the torch moment. And unfortunately, the flame on that torch got snuffed out way too early in Bray Wyatt and the loss, in which the wrestling fans have endured as well. And you saw a lot of that brought up during the Hall of Fame. And this is the saddest entry on Lunce's list maybe in the history of this segment. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2. That's just the truth.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's just the truth. You think about the potential. You think about what could have been
I know.
with more time.
Yeah, and I hope more people understand. He was a local guy to us here in Alabama, and he was the son of Mike Rotunda, Hall of Famer now. So good stuff.
Not long before that, Luke Harper, passing away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very sad. Number 2, Stone Cold. This has to be
Husky
what you
Harris.
were referring to with the old JR voice that you were doing leading into. You hear a sound and then you hear, "Oh my God, that's."
Now,
I was like, "Well,
in
Stone
my
Cold made the
rankings,
list."
this was by far the number 1 initial audio pop, which there's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah.
And my number 1 has a good one too, but this is by far number 1. And that's honestly kind of where you can stop, because Stone Cold built himself up to be so big that you heard that and your entire mindset changed about whatever was happening in the ring, if he was coming into a match already or if it was just a match with him. The whole mood changed just when you hear the glass shatter. And I literally wrote, the glass shatter is the best by God hit that happens in all of wrestling, and that's why he's all the way up in number 2. Plus, I mean, it's good music anyway. Stone Cold himself, coming to the ring with authority. It's just good, but the glass shatter is what puts it over the top.
Yeah.
Everyone on Sunday watching night 2 of WrestleMania 40 was waiting for that glass
The
to
most
shatter.
anticipated thing.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, the entire
And
night never came.
If you watch the first Pavlik 6-pack, you were told that glass would shatter. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen. I think we'll discuss it in the second edition of the Pavlik 6-pack.
To be fair, before you ever said that, I still expected it to happen.
Of course.
And
Yeah, we got 87% of that one prediction right. I'm thankful I was able to represent the Meltdown Townians. Meldonians. What did I just say?
You said Meltdown Townians,
Meltdown
which I'll be
Townians?
honest, I detest. I hate that name.
I like
Meltdown Townians.
Meltonian, so yeah, it's whatever.
One day there will be a biopic about the Meltdown Townians.
Can't wait. They'll get Bumper from Pitch Perfect to play me.
Tyler, the Stone Cold music, I'm sure you could reenact it right now if I was to force you to. I'm not going to do that due to labor laws, but would you say that the Stone Cold
Imagine
entrance...
Tyler reaching over and just shattering.
You know,
the window next
I
to
could
him.
honestly, with your lovable boy gimmick around here, I could see you coming down the hallway to HBK's theme.
We're
every
very
once in a
tall
while,
up on
man.
this building right here. We're
see that
we're
too.
very high up. He shatters that glass, Morgan Wallen may run in here and throw a chair through the window. You never know what may happen.
Go ahead, man.
But my question is...
Leave the chair right there, Tyler, please.
Tyler's like, is there a question involved in here? How iconic is the Stone Cold entrance from what you can recount from your days of being a wrestling fan?
It's very iconic. Only slightly less iconic than the Undertaker entrance. I would have that at my number 1 and Stone Cold right behind him.
John's going to the board. Do you even need
John's
to stand
getting
up
up.
for this?
Okay. Do I need to write it?
Write it.
You got to make it
yes.
official in case somebody
Yes.
screenshots.
Who knows? You may go American Badass on this. I don't know. Which, by the way, hated the American Badass intro with the motorcycle. He could never get the motorcycle to properly work, and it was never menacing to me. The Undertaker entrance is menacing. The American Badass entrance goes, this guy is like on a tricycle coming down to the ring to kick my ass. I don't,
No.
it's not as terrifying. When Hogan tried to start up the hog,
Motorcycles in wrestling don't go as well as you think, a.k.a. Road Wild WCW pay-per-views in the fall.
The worst, and I never would have seen it if you hadn't brought it up. When he came to NXT, it was a few months ago he came to NXT because somebody said, hey, I'm such a badass. And he's like, no, I'm the real American badass. But it's so small where NXT is that he brought the motorcycle down. He could just barely waddle the motorcycle
it's
around
not
the
menacing.
ring.
You could
Power
literally,
Wheels presented that
you could run away in the amount of time it takes for him to get off the bike. I mean, you could really just exit the arena. You could be in a limo on the way home, and he'd be like, "Oh man, I gotta do all these things to make the bike work." It's
no, this is definitely Undertaker, not the American Badass persona. You gotta go with the other brother of destruction. If Kane's my number one, this is right there. Obviously, a lot of similarities between the two. That, as Tyler mentioned, Stone Cold's even number two Taker for him too. So don't really have to explain a lot of why Undertaker is number one. And I feel like for a lot of people that would be number one regardless. I would have Kane up there because I like red over purple. I like the gimmick that he has with the flames a little better and everything. Not that the Undertaker hadn't used flames before, but no, definitely Undertaker at number one. Now, my honorable mentions real quick. CM Punk, I think, has the third best initial hit with the static of Colt's personality. I'm just a CM Punk guy. I'm sure there's a lot better to a lot of other people, but for me, he's behind Taker and Stone Cold from just the static of, oh my God, you know who it is. I had Vince on there, No Chance in Hell, and then his kind of powerful, kind of swagger walk down there and everything. It was a good entrance. Ultimate Warrior, he had the best approach to the ring with just haul into the ring every single time. I would have been, the Undertaker's waddling his bike down there. I mean, that's the exact opposite of the Ultimate Warrior.
That's fair.
Who just hauls down to the ring as fast as possible, and I would have been like, all right, I'm done. I got to go back in.
Which one takes longer? The Undertaker entrance or the American Badass entrance? Because I would argue for the amount of time it takes for him to get off the bike, even though he has a motorized vehicle down there, which, by the way, in that triple threat match for the United States Championship, them using the golf cart or whatever to bring down Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
What kills me is Randy Orton is terrified the minute it takes off because you can tell he's like going too fast and he's like, slow down.
Total rib on Owens to hit the gas
holding on to the bat.
Thing,
And it's like,
that was beautiful.
This is
much more efficient, the golf cart instead of the Undertaker hog. The Rock, let's say he hadn't just appeared in the ring, Undertaker, and he had taken the hog down there, I mean, it would have taken 20 minutes for him to
We'd still be talking about Sunday night.
The Rock would have sitting there like, are you done yet?
Anyway.
Yeah.
The best part of that, by the way, is watching videos of the Undertaker hiding under the ring the entire time and then have to come out and then go right back in. And it's like, you have to think he's under the ring right now while they're celebrating and doing all this stuff with Cody winning.
John, you've brought up a good point about pro wrestling in that regard. Sometimes it's better to watch it on TV because live.
Yes.
Undertaker? Yes. Shh.
And then my ninth one, this is a Natural Predator shout out, is Bobby Roode. I loved his music. And when he would like descend down, there's like an NXT takeover they did one time that he had this really big like lift that he came down. It was really cool. I like that. But the Preds use that music when they win, so it's a little of Is Bobby Roode even still a thing?
I had him as my honorable mention number one. Bobby Roode, the glorious, the robe, everything, and then of course Taker and all that.
I want to get into your at-home edition of Lunce's list that you have, Brian. What makes your five?
And I hope you at home are playing this. You don't have to have the Pavlik Family Cruise one like I do, but I hope you have something you write down and take a picture and talk about with the spouse and kids later like I do. And then they go, did you work today? So mine's all over the place, but John, I did not rank. Did you use an Excel document formulated? See, we know each other real well here. I just said I would want to be that person in that moment. Not anything else, just I would want to be that person. And Attitude Era number 5, The Brood. Coming up from the flames, that music. We actually would come out of our locker room for football games to the Brood theme. Great stuff. Great look. I wouldn't go as far as the Gangrel with the blood and all that, but, it was still fun. Heegee's over here like, what? Blood? Excuse me?
Gangrel's one of my wife's favorites.
Yeah.
She's playing with Chia Pets or whatever.
Yeah. With Chia Pets.
Webkins.
Oh, sorry.
So, no, you're
Wet
good.
napkins or whatever it is.
Wet napkins.
Webkins.
Dude wipes. How about that? How about
How did
sponsorship mania?
How's Tyler getting offended that I'm going after EG here? That's not fair.
Yeah, the sponsorship, that is a thing that Prime bottle in the middle and literally every match having its own sponsor, the gin and juice.
The hydration station.
was
The
fine,
hydration
man.
station, which got destroyed every single match.
hilarious.
They had to put it all back.
Oh my gosh. So the Brood is up there, Goldberg, especially when he makes the long walk and people are chanting your name. I have 2 syllables in my last name. Pavlik would be so cool hearing, and you just walk with the security like you're a big deal.
I refuse to bring up Gilbert every time you're here, but the sparklers, I can't get over how perfect that
You
is.
beat me. It's like, it's
The
no
sparklers
Gilbert,
with Gilbert.
It's every time you're here, John and I race to see who can
Fantastic.
mention
Say
Gilbert
Gilbert
first.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right. Number 3 is out there, but as a young boy who was trying to watch wrestling and say, man, this guy has a physique and he has the ladies and he just has the charisma.
The Godfather.
we're close on that one. Ravishing Rick Rude. The whole spiel about calling the crowd sweat hogs, the disrobing, the 18 abs he had, the hip swivel, the tights. That entrance without the pyro background, just in and of itself, the striptease music.
Ultimate bad guy.
It's so fun. And if you go back, you would watch Rick Rude and go, that guy was awesome. So, Ravishing Rick Rude. Number 2, for crowd participation alone, the New Age Outlaws. I think we talked about the pop, that first opening guitar riff, and then having the crowd recite the whole intro with you. That was some of the stuff in the Attitude Era. If you were live in the crowd, that's one of those instances where live is better because you get to participate that and sing along with the whole New Age Outlaw intro back in the late 90s with their South Park shirts and all that. That was fantastic. And then number 1, not necessarily because I would be this kind of guy in person or not, but old school ECW, The Sandman. Metallica Enter Sandman hits.
He'd make himself bleed before he made his
You
opponent
come
bleed.
through the crowd. You're probably putting down 6 beers before the match even happens. Everybody's singing. Everybody's going crazy for you. And then the match starts. So I think the Sandman entrance, especially in that Attitude Era of ECW, if you were in the crowd and I am that guy coming through, you are all over me. You're wanting to drink the beer with me and everything.
Can I throw out an honorable mention? This one always worked for me. The JBL limo entrance. I always was a fan.
Fun.
When you saw those horns pull in and he got out, and also a great bad guy there holding the title. But we love talking wrestling. We'll get more of that in the Pavlik 6-pack here on the Meltdown channel for sure. One thing that I loved during WrestleMania weekend was how many belts were dropped during the 2-day event. We're looking to tighten our belts with Way to Wellness.
There you go.
John, tell them about
knew
Leslie
exactly where that was
and her
going.
board-certified team.
Yeah, go to aplanforme.com. You can learn more about Way to Wellness. Leslie and her whole board certified team. They have me on the right plan. They have Tim on a plan. They got Jim Dunaway on a plan. My dad's on a plan. It's a whole family affair there at Way to Wellness. Let's see. No, it's next week. We go to weigh in. We just weighed in last week. Dropped some more poundage there. And look, we're doing good on the plan. And it's got things changing for me. My clothes are fitting better there. I actually, literally, as we were recording something earlier, I was playing with my ring. I can put my ring on all my fingers now because I can just tell there's small little differences there when it comes to what Way to Wellness has done for me. I wasn't trying to sound like I was bored. I'm just saying.
No, it has a nice ring to it.
Oh, here it is.
It's like a fidget toy for me, and so I was playing with it, and I was like, oh, I can fit this on all my fingers now. Anyway, go to aplanforme.com. Learn more about Way to Wellness.
Will wants to throw out some love for HBK and his entrances, and obviously some iconic ones for
Never
sure.
the biggest fan of his, just in general. Don't know why.
I mean, he was a great athlete and all that. Just, I don't know. But, he's just a
I was a Razor Ramon
boy.
guy.
Lovable boy.
Yes.
Also, I didn't include any groups in this. I was more going individual, but every time you hear the Are You Ready, I feel like that's a good pop two for DX.
NWO.
And NWO's up there too when it comes to just full group entrances.
Let's get a camera back on EG here. We talk about titles and them being put up for grabs. EG, a couple weeks ago, put her title up for grabs.
Where's this going?
Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you remember being a title holder.
I do remember. It's been
And
a while.
You dropped it to Ush,
Yep.
and then Ush dropped the title last week to Lunsford.
Ready for my Roman Reigns
Reigning
title
defending.
Lunsford is the current champion of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia. However, if all things go to plan, Lunsford will be facing 2 competitors tomorrow that are not already in this room and have not been in this room all week long.
I love it.
I am tuning in tomorrow.
Who will be Lunsford's competitors on Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia? I honestly don't know, but I will figure it out between now and then, and it will be exciting. I promise.
Not only will I have a Roman Reigns 5,000-year-long run with my title, but I will be a fighting champion, unlike Roman Reigns, and fight every week for it.
My hope is, EG, you're back in the mix soon to
Yes,
compete in Triple Threat Trivia.
for sure.
And that you have another title run because the fans are behind you.
I know. I love that. I feel like the fans.
You need a name for your fan base.
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Georgia Southern Eagles, EG, Eagles.
Eagles. Or we could be the Eggs.
Better than the Meltdonians.
I like the eggs better than the
Eggs.
Eagles. The
We can
Eagles.
we can let our fans decide.
Okay,
You guys
we'll
want to be
work
the
on that.
Eggs or the Eagles?
Let's get Tyler back into the mix here, because the lovable boy that you know as Tyler, that's now a full-fledged businessman, he's going to be happy about this. Prime Video has announced that their new Fallout series, which is adapted from the retro futuristic video game franchise of the same name, will premiere all 8 episodes earlier than expected. Those episodes are now dropping tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
April 10th at 8 p.m. Central Time. The special release includes a live global fan premiere of the first episode, where viewers worldwide can choose their faction and interact with other fans via a live chat function. I'm going to be completely transparent. I would hate that. I would hate to sit down, watch the first episode of something I've anticipated, and have some live chat going on throughout that episode that I have looked forward to.
Live chat,
Yeah, that sounds
talking.
horrible.
Live chat like what we do on Meltdown.
Yeah,
the
I assume
at-home
like a live
version? What do we-
scrolling Twitch chat during the episode.
Yeah, now if
that
I could have
sounds horrendous.
No, if I could have Twitch chat during Game of Thrones or during, anything, I would
Want that?
love that.
No.
I would love that. Hey, Twitch chat during like debates and stuff, that's incredible. But during a show, I would love it too.
I wouldn't like it for a premiere event like this, but Twitch has a watch party function where if you're streaming something and your audience has Amazon Prime, you can watch a movie with your audience. That is interesting, but with everyone that wants to watch Fallout, no, that's too many people. It's way too many.
It's a worldwide live chat function. I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's awful. Maybe we'll get some reviews that it was a complete train wreck, or that it's the future of watching new premieres. I don't know.
Watching Thursday Night Football with Twitch chat has been great too.
Per the official log line, Fallout is the story of haves and have-nots in a world which there's almost nothing left to have. 200 years after the apocalypse, the gentle denizens of luxury Fallout shelters are forced to return to their hellscape their ancestors left behind, and are shocked to discover an incredibly complex, gleefully weird, and highly violent universe waiting for them. John, here's the thing you're most excited about. Fallout, executive produced by Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, the duo behind Westworld. When will you get around to watching this, John? Will it be this weekend? Will it be night one? Are you going to try to binge it? Are you going to try to space it out? What's your schedule with Fallout look like? Or are you going to avoid it altogether?
Oh no, I plan to finish it by the end of the week. I will start tomorrow. I was going to start Thursday, but then they moved it back to tomorrow, or moved it up to tomorrow. I will watch it all because I would say like Westworld, Jonathan Nolan's directing all the episodes. I think at least all the ones they've announced. I know he's directing, and then like you said, they're doing it together. I'll give this for the Nolans, the husband-wife teams for those two have produced some good stuff there.
They stay busy.
I love Baby Billy, Walton Goggins. I mean, I think he'll be really good in it. Kyle MacLachlan, there's people in this. It's got good people behind the scenes. I'm all about it. I'm going to watch it 100% tomorrow the minute I get home from doing the Meltdown.
I'll tell you who would love Fallout, and that's Morgan Wallen, because he'd have chairs falling out of buildings all left and right over and over and over again.
Not your best.
I'm working on it. I'm coming up with as
It wasn't
many
a plug. It was
horrible puns as possible when talking about Morgan Wallen and his degenerate attitude. Don't like it one bit. Guy's got the whole world in his hands, and he's crushing it up by himself, and it doesn't
Throwing
make
it
any
off a
sense.
rooftop bar.
He is. There's nobody deserves to credit that more than what I just did. What is the show, Brian, that you looked most forward to watching debut, like week to week? Maybe you got excited about watching it, or is there something that is coming up where you're like, other than wrestling, of course,
Yeah, of course.
where you're like really excited to sit down and this is something I'm going to enjoy? Maybe it was a show on HBO at one point. What do you turn to?
You know, I go back to the original thing that was kind of the fan, let's all get together and theorize. And I think that was Lost. And I just remember especially those first few seasons of what are we watching? Oh, my goodness, the budget per episode is amazing. There's this story, what's in the hatch, that kind of teaser. That whole summer was nuts. So you had that. Then you go on to, your classic HBO ones, the ones that you can binge watch and still hold up the test of time. That's The Wire. That is, The Sopranos and all. Then you had Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Those that really have these long-standing characters and plots that go mini plots but an overarching plot. Those are the best types of series for
all
sure.
of those series you mentioned were appointment driven. It's
Yes.
going to be on at this time, you'll watch it at this time, the next day it's the talk at the water cooler.
It was.
We're all on different schedules now. with things, especially like Fallout, dropping all 8 episodes at one time.
Right.
Tyler may binge it all night one because he's got to watch it to its epic conclusion.
That's the plan.
You may have it done by Friday.
Don't know if I can do 8 hours before Thursday morning.
You
but
can't
we'll see.
have a full discussion about it until you've both hit the same plateaus with it. And that is why something like House of the Dragon is something I look so forward to seeing. Because I promise you this, we're going to be watching it on Sunday night before we get in here Monday, and then we can actually have a full discussion about it. It's a week-by-week sort of release. I like the week-by-week releases because it keeps everybody on the same page to be able to continue the marketing, continue the discussion. Nobody will be talking about Fallout come May.
Nope.
Because it'll have
talked about done.
It'll be a stick of dynamite.
But to be fair, if it released episode by episode, it would be the same way.
No, you talk about it week after week after week after week.
But I'm saying once the show's done, then it would disappear. Unless it's the world's greatest thing, in which case people are still going to talk about it anyway. Stranger Things is the perfect example of that. We're also talking about Stranger Things, and it does this exact same thing. We're still talking about, oh my gosh.
EG with another
just dropped
class E
something else,
felony.
folks at home.
She has dropped, we're going to call it an EG felony, a class EG felony, and she just continues to drop things. We're having a civil time here in the studio. Just having a normal conversation. We're up here at the top of the rooftop bar. We're having a good time. And John, I apologize that you've been interrupted, but it's not my fault. It's EG's. And you continue to disrupt things by throwing things onto the ground. Are you just trying to follow in the footsteps of your idol, Morgan Wallen? Is that what's happening?
Apparently.
I'm going to prove a point.
Would you like to apologize?
I apologize.
You've
to the
kicked
floor.
over coffee today on the floor.
I did.
Again.
That I know. That has followed me a lot of places. I was in Tuscaloosa on Saturday for the Final Four, and someone leans over and goes, "Hey, have you kicked over any coffee lately?"
Nice.
I was like,
For those that don't
that's gonna
know,
stick.
EG did that during the Kalen DeBoer introductory press conference. She
Yeah.
kicked over
Right on the
coffee.
carpet.
Yeah,
and ruined
behind
the carpet.
pretty much. Yeah, we're waiting on the invoice, but it was
Elmore
behind his
Center.
family too, which made it even worse.
Why is my purse so damp? Oh, it's EG's coffee all over it. Sorry, Mrs. DeBoer.
Welcome to Alabama.
Okay, I'm sorry. John, you were making a great point before all of
Yeah,
that.
we can circle back to the week by week release.
I'm just saying that if it's a good quality show, people will still be talking about it. Now, I think Fallout's going to be, hey, it was cool. It's a video game adaptation, and a lot of times those don't really work. So I'll watch it. I'll love it because it's Westworld people, and then move on. But we're also talking about Stranger Things now and eagerly awaiting the next season. It's done that 4 times, and it hasn't hurt it in the least. Now, there's the biggest thing with House of the Dragon is the first season jumped so much time, you had to give it some space to breathe. I think, Game of Thrones in general was a show that did so many different plot lines, you had to give it space to breathe and think about and rewatch and all that kind of stuff. But there's plenty of shows, even on HBO, that you could have released all at once. Westworld would have been a perfect show you could have released all at once.
The conversation's better when you don't do it that way, though. The conversation's better. That's all I'm saying.
From
the Stranger
our
Things
standpoint.
conversation was always really short. You would have that conversation
Not with
for
me,
a
'cause-
couple days, and it would be kind of, oh, it was good, or I didn't like this, but that was it.
And
It
for
wasn't.
Westworld is a show you have to think and you have to mentally say, where am I? Who's
You
this?
do.
Or what are they doing? That's like an ACT if you watch it for 4 or 5 hours.
You
at a
do,
time.
but I think overall the show, strictly because of the plot lines, there weren't 5,000 plot lines in it like a Game of Thrones, that it could have worked all together. It's a deep thinker just in terms of the subject matter. But like the Stranger Things conversation for me was not short with anybody that has that I know has watched it. We have had conversations about Stranger Things nonstop since that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It came out, and whether it released, it was I think 9 total episodes. Whether it released 1 a week for 9 weeks or all came out at once, the conversation is the exact same for me. Because truth is, I haven't talked about House of the Dragon much until we've gotten trailers and started looking forward to it.
But week to week, we talked about it over the span of...
It works for us an hour because we get 9 weeks.
No,
we get
it
9
works
days of
for
talking. So.
fans. It works for people when you're sharing these moments. It builds better memories.
But like 80% of the conversation that week is, boy, I wish I could watch the next episode.
I just think we're wired different, and that's fine. I appreciate and respect your way.
There's a
that
reason
you-
more people
you
do it
want-
like this than the other.
Okay. I understand.
saying.
You want it done your way. What I'm saying is it's better when it's
More
not.
people do it my way. Just saying.
Oh boy.
Love was bleeding. Sorry.
You think Morgan Wallen's got any of them chairs left?
I'm just waiting on Tyler to say something in a Bane voice.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
I hate this show. Let's go to our next subject.
Meltdown Town is imploding.
Star Wars Outlaws. Ubisoft, or Ubisoft. I never know which way to pronounce it. I'm going to say Ubisoft.
Biopic.
Hey, you tell me. I've been so strict on your Henry Cavill pronunciation. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
I've always said it with the hard U. Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
I've always
feels
said it
better
like
to me.
that.
In collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, has announced the launch date for Star Wars Outlaws. It is the first open-world Star Wars game. They released the official trailer as well as new details about the title. Star Wars Outlaws will launch on August 30th on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, Amazon Luna, and PC through Ubisoft Connect at a suggested retail price of $69.99 for the base game. Gamers who subscribe to Ubisoft Plus or purchase the Gold Edition or Ultimate Edition of the game will have 3 days early access, and those who pre-order before August 30th will receive the Kessel Runner bonus pack, which includes cosmetics for the main character Speeder and for her ship, the Trailblazer.
Gotta make money somehow.
They're trying to get the microtransactions there even
Never mind,
up
it's
front.
$70 to begin with.
Is it a live service game too?
I'm sure it has to be. I'm sure it has
Disgusting.
to be. Is this going to be more like Breath of the Wild, or is this going to be more like GTA Online, or what is this? What have you understood about this?
It's a single player game. They say it's the first open world game. I don't know how you don't.
That feels more Breath of the Wild to me.
I don't know how you don't consider like the Old Republic that, but I actually played the Old Republic for the first time in like 5 years this past weekend. I decided to get back into it for some reason and really enjoyed it. It's a pretty good game, but
It's always held up.
Watching the story trailer for it, basically, if you love The Mandalorian and want to play it in a video game form, that's what this is. It's just like The Mandalorian. It's about a main character with a cute sidekick doing deeds for people who pay the money to do it and getting in all kind of hijinks along the way, basically is what it is. So it's like, hey, The Mandalorian worked. Let's make a game that's just like it. But we'll back it up a couple of years and make the characters people you've never heard of before. Because outside of Jabba the Hutt, I don't think there's a single recognizable character in it. They're all made up for this game. So I have zero desire to play this game, but...
Was that Han Solo and Carbonite in the trailer? Or was
That's what it looked like
It was
to me.
because it takes place between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't somebody else.
Han
that
Solo's
was.
in it too. You just don't get to talk to him.
Okay. Smuff says it's going to be the Assassin's Creed Star Wars game.
That's probably a good comparison.
Are you
Didn't like
excited?
those games either.
Would you be excited to play this, Tyler, or is it something that doesn't pique any of your interest?
There's a lot of ifs around this. It would have to not be a live service game because there's been just a long string of those that are just microtransaction beggars that really don't have anything else to offer. Ubisoft is going to have to work out all the bugs. I'm tired of buggy releases from them. And it's just going to have to look really good and solve those two things for me to have any interest in playing.
Brian, have you ever been a gamer? Have you ever been somebody who's like, you know what? I'm ready to pick up the paddles. Let's do this thing.
My brother was always better at the gamers than me. I got into the Mortal Kombats, the Killer Instincts of the world, played the Simpsons arcade game with Marge swinging a vacuum cleaner, and that's about as awesomely video game-ish I've been.
Gotcha. And EG, we know you play, what is it
Webkins.
called? Towel pets, or what is it? Napkin pets?
Owl pet.
Tell pets.
Webkins.
Webkins. I can't figure it out.
Says that with such disdain.
Webkins.
But I know you've played some other games too.
Yes. Trying to think of what Pop Tropica.
Of course.
Y'all remember that one?
Now
I'm
we've got a
convinced you're making
discussion.
things up. I've never heard of
not.
any of these things.
Pop Tropica, Tyler knows. I played Fortnite, like just to probably impress a boy at one point.
Too impressive.
And that's about it. Oh, I played a Disney princess game on the PS2
Okay.
and Need for Speed car racing game.
Man.
All right, seriously?
No more. That's good. You're not helping your street cred
What's
at
wrong
all.
with Fortnite
And
and
Need for Speed was the best part of that.
Oh, no, the ski game. Do you guys remember the ski game? SX Tricky.
SSX Tricky, yeah.
Yeah, Thank you.
classic.
Tyler is on my team today.
I remember
No,
that.
SSX Tricky is a classic.
I remember
is
track
a
and
solid
field with the
game.
power pad, but no.
That was classic too.
I look forward to playing more video games. I have not played, and I think that this is popular in your household, the latest WWE 2K24 release. Popular, getting thumbs up, rave reviews there with this latest edition.
Very good reviews. Santa Claus was very good this year. He bought all the 24 versions of every game imaginable to the Pablo kids. And surprisingly, WWE has been the one that they've played the most.
I'm going to have to check that out. I think,
It's a good one.
John, I don't know if we should workshop this live on the air or not. Because
I'm playing Pop Tropica. What?
No, you're not. They closed down the game. They did? Yeah, they closed down Pop Tropica
Playing
after.
Pop Tropica.
Hey, you're the reporter. Breaking news.
Playing Pop Tropica.
Come on.
let me know when you guys are ready to do the show.
They announced they
I'm
were
gonna
closing
say-
What would you
the
like to
game.
talk about for the next little bit before you close off?
All right, continue. Yes.
We have Smuth that says, let's get them all on Rocket League. John, me and you have been on
We
fire
play-
on Rocket League. And I think it's because we hate each other right now, but and that animosity is making us want to outperform the other. But we went on an 8-game win streak on Rocket League, which is by far and away, I think, our best win streak with no defeats.
It is. I'd say overall we have a decent winning record. You know, out of 10 games, we're 7-3, 6-4 typically. But we're playing Rocket League. We used to play threes with another person. Now we play 2v2, just two of us, and we crush it.
We played 8 games. We won all 8. And then the game glitched, and it locked me out of a match that we were winning.
We were winning, so I had to play 1v2 and ended up losing by 2, I
It
think.
was ridiculous, and it made me so angry because we were on such a hot streak. And after that, it was just we had lost all momentum. But we definitely play some Rocket League. But here's what I want to workshop on the air, and it's probably not a smart thing to do, but we want to provide some live gaming here on the channel.
Yes,
And I'm a little worried about that because I'm a highly competitive person,
as am I.
and I don't want to come across as being irrational during whatever game we're playing.
I think the three of us all have the same issue.
Oh, Tyler's worse than me.
Oh, Tyler got legit mad one time. Like, I have never seen Tyler this mad.
Tyler,
We were
you
playing
take-
Mortal Kombat.
You take gaming very seriously. Are you aware that you take it very seriously?
I get frustrated when I just can't figure it out. Like John had me pinned in Mortal Kombat with the same move over and over again for about 2 minutes straight,
Just
and
win,
match
baby.
after match after
Forward,
match.
forward, high kick?
That was frustrating.
I
I
can
don't even remember
see.
what it was.
But
But hey, just win, baby. That's all that matters.
Forward, high kick.
No, it was with some dumb character that you were like, let me just pick this person.
I
And
could
you
teleport up and smash his head down every time.
it
and I
was
just kept doing
Quan
it up.
Chi, and it
Boom.
was some dumb teleporting throw,
It was.
just over and over again.
I'm trying so hard not to let out our inner demons, and I worry that the gaming aspect of this channel, which we've all promised is happening and we want to deliver on, is going to bring out some not so nice things in us, and I don't want that to happen.
Just mark the video not safe for children, and you've covered your basis, and then start there. And
I just like how I was like, yeah, I beat him with some guy. Oh, I remember specifically it was Quan Chi, and he did this exact move, and I was like, boy, I can tell he took the loss bad.
What game should
I
we
just know the characters.
what game or games do you think we should start to sort of float out there as ones we're going to flirt with on the gaming side of this channel?
I think Mortal Kombat works. You definitely have to mark it not safe for kids with the if we keep the blood on.
When I hear Pavlik's a pro at Mortal Kombat.
I have an idea, but go ahead, John.
Okay. The thing is, I love spreadsheets, and I love for gaming to build spreadsheets and leagues and all this stuff that we did. And we had this super league we were going to do one time, me, Tim, and another guy, and we never really brought it to fruition. We kind of
Just a little bit.
kind of started it, but never really. I guess it was during COVID, maybe, because we would play every single night. Sea of Thieves, by the way, was super fun. We played that during COVID. But like, I feel like the problem is a lot of the games that are popular are games that aren't like couch games that we can enjoy with each other. Like it is like Fortnite. We got to be on our own machines to play Fortnite, and you hate Fortnite. Like Rocket League, you can't really sit on the couch and play together. You kind of have to be on your own because you can play split screen, but it's weird split screen. So I don't know. I feel like fighting games are the best chance for that. Super Smash Brothers is a go-to for us that we've played a lot. We've talked about our Cloud Link rivalry we could bring to it.
Mario Kart would
Mortal
be
Kombat's
good.
good. Mario Kart's good. I like Mario Party.
Mario
It's
Party's
a little
another
slower
one.
moving, but it's
now
fun.
you're getting towards the idea. I think what you guys should do is, without touching the game, the controller for years, start Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and see who can go the furthest.
I always sucked at that game.
I
Well,
always-
that's
never
part of the
played
fun.
it.
I
That's
mean, for
before my time.
non-gamers like me, I think watching Mike Tyson would be fun. I think racing F-Zero would be great.
We should do a series called The History of Games. We work our way up from Pong, where we
You're
compete
doing,
in
yeah, you're
everything
doing the movie trailers, and that's a
week
fun
by
little
week.
gig.
We
So
just pull it out of the popcorn bucket, and
pull,
then
pull it out, blow off the disc, and go.
there we go. Hey, I think we should get a sack full of Culver's Butterburgers and get in the studio
48 straight hours of Mario Kart.
Man,
and spend a lot of time playing some games
be fun.
for the people. I think they would enjoy that. Another place where you can play plenty of games, John, and have a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. It's a place you visit quite often. It's our title sponsor. That is MyBookie.
Yeah, it's way more fun than Pop Tropica, which I just unlocked my very own home in it. But you can go to mybookie.ag and you can play there. Use promo code next round. Get that first deposit bonus on us. Hey, March Madness has ended, but the playoffs are about to begin for the NHL. By the way, Preds, they moved up to the first wild card spot, but there's a chance Pred Stars first round could be the matchup. So, go play the playoffs there in the NHL. Maybe Tim and I will find our way up there at some point. You can also play the NBA playoffs. Are about to start. Regular season winding down there. Major League Baseball just started. The Champions League, I think, kicks back off tomorrow with a couple of matches. So go play some games there. Play in the live casino. Play the slots. Promo code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at mybookie.ag.
Can we get the microphone back to EG? Because she is actually going on a field trip, which is why she will not be competing in Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia. Tell us a little bit about where you're going, what you'll be up to.
So I'll be going to Augusta, Georgia, to the par 3 for the Masters. I'm very excited. I will be eating pimento cheese sandwiches, drinking some Arnold Palmer's,
Lucky.
a peach ice cream sandwich, and doing some shopping, as well as walking the course.
Sounds like a really tough week.
It
I hope you
is.
can-
It's
you
going to be
can deal
really
with
tough just to bring myself to go down there. 5:30 wake up call.
What's the weather going to be
tomorrow.
like? Have you looked ahead?
80 and
That's
like
your type of weather,
it's
right?
perfect. It's perfect. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, enjoy that.
Thank you.
Our Masters correspondent, EG, missing Triple Threat Trivia, which I know will break Spud's heart
It
if he
will.
happens to be here, John. It's going to be devastating for him.
It's okay. I'm going to break it even worse when I win my second in a row.
We've never, Brian, a defending Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia champion. The belt has changed hands every single time it's
Crazy.
been up for grabs.
I have
Which
to
I
tune
love,
in
by the way.
tomorrow. This title defense is bigger than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I am.
Do you consider yourself someone who's pretty apt in trivia?
I played that at home edition. I'm okay. It is the number strategy though.
It is.
And that's the thing. Like I know I've noticed now the football theme that you go with, and I would pick my own kind of, lottery numbers. I could hang in there if the numbers fell my way. I feel confident in that.
That's what it
I'm
is
not
every
issuing a challenge yet.
Whoever wins has the numbers go their way.
Yeah,
every time.
because
But I'm
Otis
ready.
Redding's death
Yeah.
doesn't really bode well.
I'm sorry that was such a, unfair question.
Sometimes you get that.
EG.
Sometimes you get questions like, hey, this movie featuring lions and royalty came out in the 90s from Disney.
Yeah.
Secondhand Lions?
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Lion King, obviously. That's going to do it for us here at the Meltdown. I think we've all grown more hateful of one another since we've been here at the start of the show.
That's how it goes.
Clumsy,
I
too.
unlocked
I
my
think-
very own
I think-
home on Pop Tropica.
I think all of us can't wait to just completely get away from one another once the show ends in the next 10 seconds. So, on behalf of the lovely boy that you know as Tyler, that is now a certified businessman
The Heartbreak Kid.
Bibb County, we appreciate your efforts, Tyler. I hope you had a great show today.
Oh, thank you.
Brian,
I didn't know
always
what to say.
great to have
Breaking
you
hearts
here.
everywhere.
Thank you for allowing me to be a repeat guest. I feel like I am part of the family, and
Yes.
there's a few other repeats. Laurel and Ush and Spud. I have clearly separated myself as the I man of the group, though. I would say so.
You are a hero to us all. EG, have a lovely trip and safe travels. We don't need the microphone back to her. And
she'll drop it.
She'll drop it.
she'll just drop it. And
Drop the mic.
John, thank you for putting up with the direction that this show has taken. And I look forward to competing very soon in our Link v Cloud matchup on Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, we'll have a lot of gaming content. Follow us, and we will start streaming.
Indeed. Make sure you're subscribed. Like this video. Really helps us out a lot for sure. And we appreciate all of our lovely and loyal Meltdonians for being here for another edition of The Meltdown, presented by MyBookie, broadcasting live from the Culver studios.